Hello. This presentation is the road to graduation for seniors, the class of 2026. School counselors will see students according to the student's last name. Ms. Morris has students A through DA, Ms. Ellis DE to HOWA, Mr. Martinez HOWE through M, Mrs. Francis N through SAND, and Mrs. Breton SANE through Z. School counselors provide a number of services to families and teachers. We work with students who are at risk and help provide support for needed resources, accommodations, coordinating referrals for therapy in private agencies, and we serve as a liaison to the students, parents, and staff at the school. Counselors will work with students individually one-on-one, in small groups, and with classrooms to provide whole group instruction. The topics include academic advisement, helping students with social and personal issues, as well as assist with providing information for college, the military, and careers. Students must earn a total of 26 credits to graduate from Seminole County. This includes 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math during high school. All students must complete a minimum of Algebra 1 and Geometry for the state of Florida. If a math is taken in middle school, the credit is considered an elective and does not count as part of the math credits during high school. Science, students are required to do 4 credits, including biology. Social studies, 3 credits are required, including world history, U.S. history, a half credit of American government, and a half credit of economics. Students need 1 credit of a performing fine art, 1 credit of physical education, including the half credit of personal fitness, and a half credit of another PE elective, in addition to 9 elective credits. Students must have a GPA of a minimum 2.0 by the time graduation comes. Students have to pass the FAST ELA reading and the Algebra EOC or get a concordant score on another test. Some of the tests that we can use for concordant scores for reading include the SAT, the PSAT, ACT, and the CLT. For the Algebra EOC, a concordant score could be obtained on the SAT, PSAT, ACT, CLT, or the Geometry End of Course exam. All students will sit with their classroom teacher for the Geometry End of Course, Biology End of Course, and U.S. History End of Course exam. All of these end of courses are 30% of that class grade. So most colleges and universities will require a national test such as the SAT, ACT, or the CLT. To help students prepare for these tests, seniors will sit for the SAT this October. Note that the CLT and the ACT will only be given if the student needs a concordant score to replace the FAST reading or the Algebra EOC. Juniors and seniors planning to go to college can also pay to take the SAT, ACT, or the CLT on a Saturday on their own. Credits are awarded in Skyward on the transcript at the end of a semester. 1 9 weeks, called a quarter, will create part of a semester. Quarters 1 and 2, which is August through December, will create semester 1 grades. Semester 2 is created from quarters 3 plus quarters 4, which is January through May grades. Students earn a half credit per class per semester for 3.5 credits each semester, and a total of 7 credits per year. This credit is recorded on the transcript and will impact the student's overall cumulative GPA. GPA calculation occurs in December or January for semester 1 and at the end of May or June for semester 2. Remember that everything counts beginning in freshman year. Attendance is required, and credit denial is when students have more than 9 unexcused absences in a semester. That credit will be denied and withheld even if the student passes the class due to excessive unexcused absences. Notes from doctors and parents are required to be submitted within 5 days of the absence to the attendance link using the Seminole County link below. The loss of credit is likely to interfere with the student's ability to graduate on time. And if credits are denied due to excessive absences, the student will be required to correct their attendance or to retake the class in order to get the credit restored. Mr. Myers is the attendance administrator who manages credit denial should you have additional questions later on. In the state of Florida, there's several diploma options, including the Scholar designation, the Industry Scholar, the Career and Technical Education Diploma Pathway, the Seal of Fine Art, and the Seal of Biliteracy, as well as the AP Capstone Diploma. This slide talks about the Scholar designation, where students must have additional coursework in statistics or equally rigorous math, algebra 2 or equally rigorous, chemistry or physics, and an additional 1 credit of science and an equally rigorous to chemistry or physics, 2 years of world language, and 1 credit in advanced placement AP classes, IB, International Certificate of Education, or dual enrollment. Students must also have a level 3 or better on all of the EOCs, including geometry, biology, and U.S. history. For students interested in earning the Seal of Fine Arts, students must have 3 credits in the year-long courses for the fine art, as well as a portfolio or some performance, and they must receive district, state, or national recognition and submit their artwork. Students can request information from their teachers regarding the Seal of Fine Arts. For students that are taking 3 or 4 years of world language, they must have a level 3 GPA, cumulative GPA in the world language, and or pass an advanced placement exam for that world language. Students can ask their teachers for additional information. For the Industry Scholar designation or the Career and Technical Education pathway, students must have certifications in a specific industry certification, as well as 2 math credits and 1 science credit that could be substituted simply by getting the industry certification. There are very specific courses that meet these requirements. Not all industry certifications can replace a math or a science. For the career or technical education pathway, students must earn 18 credits toward their standard diploma and complete 2 credits in career and technical education that results in an industry certification, as well as completing 2 credits in a work-based learning program. And students can substitute those credits for the financial literacy in the work-based learning program. If they have additional questions regarding this pathway, please see your school counselor. The advanced placement or the AP capstone requires students to take and complete AP seminar, AP research, as well as get a level 3 or higher on those AP exams. In addition to seminar and research, students must satisfy 4 additional AP courses with passing AP exam scores on those 4 AP classes, which would be a level 3 or higher according to College Board. The Bright Future Scholarship was founded from the Florida Lottery as a reward for Florida high school graduates for their academic achievement. Students will be applying through their economics and American government classes with their school counselors during their senior year. The four most popular scholarships from Bright Futures include the Florida Academic Scholarship, which has a 3.5 weighted GPA, 100 hours of volunteer or work, or a combination of volunteering and working, the required 16 high school credits, as well as minimum test scores. The Florida Medallion Scholarship has a lesser GPA with a 3.0 weighted GPA, 75 volunteer or work hours. If you use the work hours or the combined work and volunteer, there must be 100 work hours or the combination of work and volunteer hours. The Florida Medallion also requires the core 16 credits as well as minimum GPA. The Gold Seal CAPE Scholarship does not have a required GPA. It does require 30 hours of volunteer work or 100 hours combined volunteer employment or 100 hours of employment. It also requires 5 CAPE post-secondary credit hours, and the volunteer hours will be increasing for students after this school year. The Gold Seal Vocational Scholarship does have a 3.0 weighted GPA in the non-elective courses, as well as 3 full credits in the career and technical education classes. For the career and technical education, they require a 3.5 unweighted GPA and 30 hours of volunteer work or 100 hours of employment or a combined 100 hours work and volunteering. There is also a minimum GPA requirement or PERT score that all students must have by August 31st after graduation. Please note that for students currently in grade 9, the amount of hours is increasing for next year. This slide shows the handbook, the Bright Future Student Handbook Chapter 1. I highly recommend that families download this initial eligibility requirement handbook. It lays out all of the information families need to know about the Bright Future scholarships, including the requirements for the Florida Academic and the Florida Medallion scholarships, the GPAs, the specific test scores required, as well as the volunteer work that is needed. So the state of Florida has put in additional ways that students can qualify for the Bright Futures without having to meet one or more of the requirements. Note that all merit recognition programs must be earned prior to high school graduation. Confirmations will come for the ACE, IB, and College Board requirements as late as September after graduation. Down below, you will see that students who earn the AP Capstone Diploma with the required number of volunteer work or combined work and volunteer hours will be able to get a Bright Futures scholarship without the other requirements from Bright Futures. It's important to note that community service must be on the transcript by May 1st of the student's senior year in order for the state of Florida to count those hours. Volunteer hours can start in the summer before grade 9 all the way through May 1st of senior year. One application is needed per volunteer site and should be approved by the counselor prior to volunteering. The application, our time log, as well as one-page reflection summary are required to be turned in to the school counselor in order to have community service placed on the transcript. The same guidelines apply for work hours or the combination of work and volunteer hours. However, a minimum of 100 hours is required if students are using their employment or a combination of employment and volunteer. And in conclusion, your school counselors are here to help. If your child is struggling, please consider tutoring or getting help after school with the teacher. The English and Math department provide tutoring as well as science and social studies. It's important to have good communication with your teachers. Matter of fact, it's essential as the first point of contact for questions and concerns. Make sure you reach out to the classroom teacher regarding classes, assignments, and grades. The Student Services does have an Instagram where you can follow postings and things that are going on in the school, as well as additional resources in the Student Services eCampus page. All students are already enrolled in the eCampus, and you can find scholarship information, graduation, community service. There's a number of topics available for all students and families. Thank you.